Hello and welcome to SharePoint Basic Training, Part 1, Navigation. Today you'll be learning about how to log into SharePoint, how to configure Internet to work with SharePoint, and how to navigate SharePoint. First thing we have to do is log into SharePoint. Here's our SharePoint URL, share.anr.msu.edu. Now we must go to the internet and type in share.anr.msu.edu and click the enter key. Once we are into the SharePoint site, you will see the login screen. And what we're going to be picking from here, from these two radio buttons, is this is a private computer. Below that you're going to put in your domain name, which is ANR, and then a backslash, and then your username. And below that you'll be putting in your password. Then you'll be clicking Login. Once we are inside the SharePoint site, we're going to go and configure our Internet Explorer to work with SharePoint. So we're going to start by clicking on Tools in Internet Explorer, then Internet Options. Then we're going to go up to Security, and we're going to click on Local Intranet. Then we're going to click the button that says Sites. Then we're going to click Advanced, and we're going to make sure that we see anr.msu.edu under Websites. We're going to click Close. Then we're going to just click OK, and we're going to click OK again. Now we're going to learn a little bit about navigation. There's 5 ways. This is navigation number 1, which we call the top level navigation. So you can see that I can click along the top here, and when I do, I get to these sites that are listed up at the top. So each one I click on takes me to a different location inside of SharePoint, and I can move around with some top level navigation in that way. Now we're going to see some side level navigation, and so it's very similar to the top level navigation. I have some sites and some things I can click on the side over here in our navigation pane, and I can move around, very similar to the top navigation. If I click on these, it will take me around inside of SharePoint as well. Very similar to the way the top level navigation works. This third way to navigate is what we call the breadcrumb trail. And so you'll see that as I click on a site, then I move a little bit further inside a site, you'll start to see that I'm getting a little breadcrumb trail going on here. If I click up where it says this page location is, you can see that I can move back a level. I can click again on another site. I can move a little bit further inside the site and go back up to the breadcrumb navigation, navigate up, and I can move back to the home, or I can go to MSUE. You can see how you can move around inside of that. There's yet another breadcrumb trail that appears when you're moving around inside of SharePoint. You'll see here that I'm clicking in. I'm on All Documents, but I can move back one space on this breadcrumb trail to Documents, and I can move back to the site that I started on. So another breadcrumb trail might appear up at the top of your page as you're moving around in SharePoint. And you can see how we can move back levels in the navigation by kind of clicking on the little breadcrumb trail that appears. So as I continue to click and get more internally inside of a site's contents, you can see that I can move back levels with the breadcrumb trail that appears up at the top of the screen. And finally, the 5th way to navigate is what we call all sites contents. In order to get there, you have to be actually inside of a site. I'm currently inside the home. I have to click inside a site. Here I'll click on MSUE, and you'll see where it says All Sites Contents. If I click even inside a part of MSUE, I can also see All Sites Contents. If I go a little bit deeper inside, I still can click All Sites Contents. So as I'm inside a certain site, I can click All Sites Contents, and what I'll see is the contents of the site. Its documents, libraries, its picture libraries, discussion boards, surveys, sites and workspaces, etc. So inside here I'll be able to see some of the things that are internally inside of that site. Just another visual way of looking at a site, and a way to maybe figure out or find some needed information that might be stored inside that site. And so that's what the last piece of navigation that we call All Sites Contents. Thank you for watching this tutorial today. Please move on to part 2, Web Parts.